this last step goes to a ramp, so one step.
That's Craig's phone.
Don't want anybody to get
You're on spider duty tonight, Craig.
Wow, this is a very, this is a very,
Sorry.
Spider.
I don't like spiders.
spider dude. You think there's spider dude? All right, you remember me telling you this 350 acre farm? They use a lot of this downstairs just to store stuff in. Seed, fertilizer, and all that kind of stuff, you know.
Love it down here.
And
Really rustic looking.
one of the groups, Ohio Ghost Hunters, you see the OGA?
Yep.
They brought this mirror in and left it. And they set it up for, they say if you stare into that someplace, there's a
That's right,
portal
I
in there, and some kind of scrying and all that, you know something? To me, it's a mirror.
That's, I agree with you on that,
But it
100%,
also- yeah.
100%.
They always, a lot of people say it's a porthole and.
Well, it's there, I haven't taken it to the dumpster yet. And I probably will.
Is this the hallway they walk to breakfast?
They do what?
Is this where they come down to eat breakfast, you said?
Yeah, right down there in that big, first big room. That was the men's side. Now, you remember me telling you about this?
The bar, yeah.
The bar?
Oh, yeah.
Windows? Well, Ida's bed was right here. And the intuitive medium here told me I need to get over it, said Ida spends a lot of time crunched up right here. There's a pretty good, nice spider right there. You can see where Travel Channel has moved that stuff out of the way because they dwelled on her a great deal. Oh, and there's a broom. So you can see where she's take the ticking, tied it around the broom, put the broom up there, stood on her bed, tied it around her neck, and stepped off, okay? And when Mrs. Thornburg found her the next day, she was leaning like this and not around.
And the twin beds back then were not very big, I used to have one.
Yeah,
From back in
yeah,
those
and it was
times.
right here. It was indeed right here.
Maybe you should have.
And that's not the real broom. I put that up there. I found it here, so it might be for all I
Yeah.
know. I found it here, so.
And it's got the old bristles, so, you know.
Yeah, it
So-
very well might be. And that is the real door, by the way. So people can't sit and play with it. We took it off its hinges on purpose. So, now, during World War II, you've got 93 people here. You can count all you want, there's not 93 rooms in this whole building. But do you know why there were so many people here? The men were all in Europe or the South Pacific, fighting the war, fighting for their country. They left the ladies at home and their kids at home. Now, when I was in the Army, I was married, and I'm here to tell you, spousal military pay sucks. Big time, earning near enough money for your wife and kids. And during World War II, I would expect it was a lot worse. And our sweet government allowed the banks to repossess property from these ladies. And by the way, they still do it today. They still do
Definitely.
it today.
Yeah, they're not very
Oh,
friendly to the military.
gives me goosebumps thinking about it, makes me mad. But they still do it today. And so the
Makes you
ladies
sick
would
to your
lose.
stomach, don't it?
Yep. The ladies would lose their properties. Well, it wasn't uncommon to have 4 or 5 kids then.
No.
And so, how are you going to feed these kids now? You can't even put a roof over their head. Where are they going to go? And so they do become wards of the county. And they do come here. Okay? And they would let the children stay with their mothers. This place is segregated big time by gender. Not by race at all, but by gender. Okay? The ladies are always on the north side of the building, the men are on the south side. But during the war, they would bring some of the men down here out of their rooms upstairs and they would stay down here while the ladies took their rooms and the kids upstairs, which I think is only right myself.
They're not that bad of size of a room either.
No, you got
I don't think so.
SLS camera, huh?
I do.
Okay, this is the laundry chute, goes up to the 3rd floor, okay, or 2nd floor, I'm sorry. And, the laundry is over on, did it just go out?
It's the second
There's-
time. My
there's-
storage space, you got the video, Dave?
Yeah, I got video going.
My
Yep.
storage is running
Well,
out.
the reason I'm saying that is your stick figure's in here,
Okay,
okay?
gotcha.
You'll see right here,
Right there, huh?
right here.
Why are they right there?
I am.
I mean, was there something
He's
particular that?
sitting here, moving his hand, just like you.
That was good.
I
That was
was
good,
just
Rose.
wondering if
That was
there
funny.
was something
I have no
that
idea.
something that happened to him.
Something like a history aspect of it, you mean?
Exactly.
Well, I do have a little bit, okay? Because what would happen is when some of the guys just needed to blow off steam or something, they would let them come in here and act like they were working, building stuff, and all that. Well, let's put a row of screws in. All right, now let's go over here and put 50 screws in the same place. Oh, let's do it again right here.
Okay.
And now, let's make a trail of them, and let's nail this thing up to the wall to make sure it never comes down again. And this is kind of your mental capacity here.
Burn off steam, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah, that
And
makes
this
sense. That
old
makes a lot of
boy-
sense. Yeah.
This old boy right here is sitting here hammering. You watch, when you see him tonight, you watch. He's sitting there hammering. Now, he will go away. He goes right up there.
Sits on a ledge.
And if he's not sitting up there, he's right here. And he's still hammering. And when I was in here with the Booth brothers, we had 3 SLS cameras. Sitting up, one there, and one there. And I know they give false hits.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know SLS cameras give false hits, okay? So, but when you got 3 of them showing you the same thing, that's not a false hit, okay? So old Christopher, he said, hey Ted, you're probably down here with him every day or so. Go say something to him. I start talking. So I walk over here. I put my hand right here. I say, hey buddy, how you doing today? Anything I can do for you? They showed me the cameras. He stopped hammering and grabbed my hand with both of his. Like, hell yes, there's something you can do for me, and then I'm sorry I said it, because I couldn't do anything, And no, I didn't feel him grab my hand or nothing like that. But that camera sure did show it. So he's here.
Okay.
I guarantee you he's here. He's been here over a year now. And this little room right here has had thousands of little creatures killed in it. This is the delousing room. It's a shower and a toilet, okay? Shower and a toilet. And yes, they used lye, and it was burns, and it was bad, and but everybody had to go through here. Everybody that come into this facility had to go through this room first. So this is delousing room. Got people living under bridges and everything else, and out in the woods and all that. Now, I'm just gonna run down here real quick. Last time I opened this, there was a guy from Kentucky sitting right on the other side. He just scared me hell. I mean, he didn't have it, wasn't closed, okay? It was something about like that. And I knew he disappeared. We was on a walkthrough, and I didn't know where he was. And I thought, oh, that door's open, and I went to check it, and he got me, believe me. That's a furnace room.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. whole chutes and everything. That's pretty interesting that they still have those in there.
Well, you see that wall back here to the back end, back that way?
Yep.
That's a brand new wall. That wasn't there. Okay? The coal room is over here. And there was actually a guy by the name of Anthony Davis that kept the coal fires burning, that actually slept right there.
Oh.
It was 1906 and he's a colored guy. And he was right there. He's actually got his name on the wall. This, if you go in there, don't shut the door. You may not, it'll be Saturday before I got enough group out here. And I usually go find you. So, but Mr. Davis, he was in here. You see right here? See the A? And you can see the N and T, it's all been painted over. But he carved his name in there, and that's 1906.
Right here?
Right here.
Right by the A,
Oh,
a little
up
A
there.
carved
You
in
see
there.
the A, and you see the other letters under the paint right there. You look right here, there's another A on this board. And this room in here, right outside that little block building that you've probably seen when you pulled
Yep,
in.
yep.
That's a coal bin. And they dumped the coal in there, then Davis would come over here to his wheelbarrow, get the coal right here, shovel it into his wheelbarrow, and go right through the wall right there into the furnaces. There was no wall there at that time. And all that electrical stuff right there is hot. That's all of our electricity throughout the entire building, right there. And all this water stuff works over here too, so. You wanna have fun with somebody, you pull this down, right here. And that's just the water off for the whole building. I do that in the winter so it don't freeze up. Yeah, and shut that all off. Now, this place operated on a buzzer system. This place operated on a buzzer system. There would be a buzzer go off at 7 o'clock in the morning, that means get up. 8 o'clock in the morning breakfast, 12 noon lunch, 5 to supper, 10:30 at night is lights out. It is not an electronic buzzer system. You gotta push it. You ready?
Echoey too.
That goes all over the building, including the attic, okay? And now what I'm gonna show you in here, whether you believe it or not, it's true. We have all right. Come in so you can see this. See it? Floor mat. So right over there, see that floor mat? This picture was actually taken from right over there, up against this wall right here behind me, okay? You see nothing right there that looks like a little creature or anything. But I want you to look right here. You see him?
Mm-hmm.
There's a creeper. And he is indeed in this room. He looks like a little octopus right here.
Right against,
Right here.
just kind of hovers around there.
He runs right up the walls. He runs across the ceiling. He's very, very, very fast. I've actually seen it once. I didn't take his picture. And another guy that was a friend of mine in the Army did take the picture because he called me back down here after I'd done a tour. He said, I saw something down there. Would you come back down with me? So I did. And he took me right exactly to where I had seen it, which is right up across that door right there. I said, do me a favor. I said, spend about an hour down there and focus on one place. And if you see me, get his picture. And he sent me that picture that night. And he's about, you notice by the paint, he's about this tall. And he looks like a baby octopus, is what he looks like. And he's got feet on the end of the tentacles. Looking at her. And he does, well, you got an SLS camera, okay? I want you to look right up in there. So there's times that he actually hides up in
Up
there.
in that
Yeah.
little.
I get a lot of people come down here and chase him around. They see him, he's supposed to be harmless. It's not demonic or anything, it's
Just kind of
elemental.
hanging out, huh?
Yeah, it's elemental. It's actually made by man's energy. It really is. You just walked out of the men's dining room. You see the blue around the bottom? Okay. This is the ladies' dining room.
So they ate separate as well.
Yeah. Now the two floors could eat together, but the men and women couldn't. And any other time, the two floors weren't even allowed to associate. Okay? Now, I'm gonna shut this off so you can be able to hear it. When Nick grew up, paranormal lockdown, Nick and Katrina, Nick's bunk was raised. Okay? Katrina was going down that hall down there, okay? And you remember Nick heard a loud noise down here, woke him up, and after went and got Grant, Katrina both
Yep.
to look for it. Well, there it is.
That's the door. Because he even looked that way when it happened.
That's it, right there. And this is just an old ice box. And later years, they put a refrigeration unit on it. And it still worked in 2006 when they closed the place. So I actually get people that goes upstairs and gets mattress and put mattress in there and stays in there. But I'll tell you this, if you do that, this does not work, so don't close the door.
Better have walkie.
Or cell phone.
Something.
Okay, now you got the flowers and all this stuff right here. We got a lady, her name is Doris Addington. Doris was left here when she was 11 years old by her sisters. The parents had passed away. The sisters are wanting adopted. But something's wrong with Doris and they don't think she'll get adopted. So they actually bring her here and set her out there on the front steps and leave her. She's 11 years old. And they dumped her. They left her. Well, Doris was a tremendous cook. And she helped cook probably every meal while she was here until she died here in 2004 when she was 81. She spent 70 years in this place. And people that knows the story brings her flowers and all this kind of stuff. Other people, they put their coins and stuff down and set them on edge to see what moves and all that. Well, if you got your tapes and tape recorders, spirit boxes and all that, you can sit right around this island, Doris will talk to you.
Awesome.
So her name is Doris Addington. All right, if you need it, there are lights in here, okay? And see if you can hear it. Yeah, he's still in there. Don't put your hand in. If you don't like spiders, don't put your hand in. I feed him flies every once in a while.
He's going to be sitting at home laughing, going, I wonder what spider she ran into.
Well, I tell you what's fun is when people come in here and go to sleeping bags right down against this wall. And if they'd see the size of the wolf spiders that come out of that wall, they would not do that.
No.
I mean, we're talking wolf
Yeah,
spiders.
they're huge.
I used to encounter those a lot in my parents' home. Not fun.
Now, I gotta do this. Yes, this is lead-based paint. Yes, this is asbestos tiles. And I had a... Where are you guys from?
Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha, Nebraska. Good. pass through Illinois and go stay there. Okay? I had some folks here from Illinois, and there was a lady, she was, I'm going to say mid-60s or whatever, you know, and she picks up a piece of paint on the floor, chip of paint, and she puts it right in my face like that. What is this? And I don't know about you folks, but if somebody puts anything right in my face, but that's a nerve, don't do that.
Disrespectful.
Yeah. And I said, that's paint. Is this lead based?
Jesus.
Yes, it is. Well, what would happen if I would eat this? And I said, it might kill you, you dumbass. And I turned around and walked away, and I thought, whoops, what did I just say?
I was gonna ask you, did you tell her to try it?
Don't eat
It's
it.
the only way that you're gonna get sick from is if you actually eat it.
I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. Katrina's bunk was down this hall. We're going down there in just a little bit. I got an antique right in here I gotta show you that talks to me. It says, please take me home with you.
Oh, yeah?
And sand me down and paint me black and put me right in the middle of your living room. How about an 1899 coal-fired water heater?
Oh, wow.
And I think that belongs in my living room. I need about 10 more people to help me carry that big heavy sucker out of here.
It's really pretty awesome.
All them pipes are water. There's no gas, no electricity to it. It had to be filled with coal. And that is a coal-fired water heater.
Never seen
There
one
used to
before.
be a glass globe right here and a big meter on a gauge on it right here. Somebody stole that naturally. But this room itself, because it's got the water heater in it, it was warm, okay? And they would hang, do a load of socks or underwear or whatever, you know, and they just hang them in here. There was a table set right here where they would do the folding clothes and stuff like that, okay? But right in here,
Radiated heats up.
and right there, you'll see some of my plumbing expertise, which stinks.
It works, right?
It worked. I had to cut the pipe into the bust to get the cobble and rust out of it. This is your laundry. Right there is the original water supply. There's a system out there, and today it's full of water. That pump will still work if I put new levers in it, but I'm not going to, because everybody would try it. The iron's sitting here for a story. 1951, by the way, this is heavy. 1951, you got two old guys in here doing their laundry, and they get in an argument. And the one old boy's kind of a fruitcake. He's one of these guys that cuts himself and all that kind of stuff, you know, to get attention and all that, you know. So the doctors in town are all familiar with him. But these two old boys get in an argument, and the one that's kind of a fruitcake runs out of here, yelling, screaming, I'll show you. I'll show you. He goes in the kitchen and gets a butcher knife. The other old boy's left in here thinks he's getting ready to be hamburger. You know, that's not the case at all. The old boy's got the butcher knife, takes the knife, and sticks it in the top of his head. His own head. Then he takes the iron and beats it in as far as he can. The old boy passes out. Naturally, I mean, he got it in about this far. The old boy passes out, down on the ground. And when he fell, it broke the blade on the knife. And so somebody got a hold of old Doc Markle up in Winchester. He was the contract physician for this place. Markle knew all about this guy. He knew he was an idiot, okay? So Doc Markle comes prepared. He comes with a pair of long-nosed pliers, a bottle of methylate, if you know what methylate is, it burns like fire, and needle and thread. He comes out of it, the old boy's still laying here, he pulls the blade out, throws it away, dumps the methylate in his hole, in his head, and sews him up. Goes out, gets his car, goes back home. Left him laying. He's laying there. Left him laying. So a couple of the guys carried him upstairs to his room, and I guess 2, 3, 4 hours later he woke up, and they determined the student actually determined he must be okay because he's still as stupid as he ever was. And that was it. I mean, that is it. End of story. No other repercussions or anything, but you see, I'm not kidding you. There was some fruitcakes out here.
And still is.
And still.
Still.
So this, the second building that was over there in this lot actually had a sign on the front, like a billboard, that said preaching here every Sunday. Like they're advertising, you know, wanting people to come to church, you know. But on this side of the building, it said right across the great big letters, Randolph County Asylum. I bet they filled the pews, don't you? No. Hell no, they didn't. Are any of you guys Freemasons? Anybody?
Nope, we're actually correctional. We're correctional employees at the state of Nebraska. We work at a prison, so
Okay.
me and Craig do.
Okay. By the way, there's one of them horns right there. When you get down here later, there is a guy that'll say here, look around this, back at you, come that way. He's actually about this tall. He's nicknamed the Tall Man. He's been here for a long, long, long time, okay? My son's got a pretty good picture of him.
Is a lot, any of it affiliated with just the land itself?
Do what?
Is any of it affiliated with the land
The
itself?
activity wise.
I don't know. This was a Hopewell culture, and I'm talking culture, not tribes or anything. I'm talking ancient man, okay? There is a Hopewell mound about 3 miles from here, and I collect arrowheads and stuff.
Right.
And about everything that I find around here is Hopewell culture, okay?
Okay.
And it very well could, because I have found arrowheads in this creek right here behind us and in the field right over there. So it very well could. Now Delaware Indians were right here, Shawnee were right here. To go on the north side of Randolph County up there, that was Miami.
Okay.
So that's your modern day.
So you could.
So yes, it very well could, okay? Anytime you see a room that's got a slanted wall in it like this, if you remember that maintenance room that was right over there had a slanted wall in it. There's another room up above that on the second floor, it's got a jail cell in it, okay? All the other 4 rooms that have this slanted wall has to do with medical stuff. It's sick rooms.
Okay.
Sick containment room. This was a supply room, this one right here. Its walls are slanted like this because if you fly a drone over this and look down on it, it's a cross. This is a cross piece right here. This is the long piece, this way. And it was built that way on purpose. And what they did with this, rather than square it off and waste space, they put a slanted wall in there to utilize whatever bit of space they could. All right. Now, look right there. From right there, that way is 1851. From right here, this way is 1898.
Okay.
Okay, now come in this room right here. That wall is 2.5 feet thick. You see the door? It's blocked in.
Yes.
You see this is limestone. You see that's brick.
Yep.
This is your old 1851 foundation. That wall wouldn't even been there, okay? So, this is the back door of the original foundation. Right now we're outside
Okay.
on the original foundation, okay? There's a window right there is blocked off. And the Masons built the original foundation. Right there. No, it's not a cornerstone. It's a key lock stone. It's right in the middle of the arch. And it's a key lock stone.
Each one of those designs means something, and I can't remember what.
Well, if you look, that line right there isn't there. Somebody's taking their finger and said, well, they're supposed to. No, there's not, because
No.
that's a different degree,
Yeah.
you know?
It was just the two, the B and the
Yeah, you're right.
top cross, yeah.
You are
And I
correct.
can't remember exactly what they, there's towns, if you look at a map, actually, of the United States, it has the same structure, the V cross structure, each city, like Washington DC, all the way down, it's all.
Well, now, what this was, out back, behind us, there's a block building out there, and that was Butcher House, okay? And they would actually carry the quarters or halves or whatever they're cutting up, right through this back door, into the next room, which is the meat room. Katrina's bunk, by the way, was right there.
I was just gonna
If you look at the film again, you'll see them green things, and her bunk was right there.
Yeah, 'cause she heard me yell.
Right, this is an old oak chopping block. This is indeed the 1850s. Indeed the 1850s. I know this is where it was. They had it in the kitchen, and I had somebody bring it back down here. Because, number one, I knew that was the back door into the original place. I knew the ice box was in here. I also knew the meat hooks were right there. And it makes pretty good sense that this is where the block would be with the natural light coming right over the shore. So I know that they carried the quarters and halves and everything through there, hung them on a meat hook, cut up manageable pieces, rolled them in paper, and put them in the ice box. And yeah, in later days, they actually put a refrigeration unit on it. Now, you got the old boy sitting here cutting up a hog, making pork chops and stuff, and putting them in there. But there's more to this room than that. I think what you'll find is my chair is still in there, okay? I didn't know for sure it was even in there. 1925, we got a cholera epidemic in Randolph County. It's bad news. Cholera, you get it in the morning, by nighttime you're dead. It's real bad news. You get cholera by sinking your drinking water well too close to the hog water. You get hog manure in a drinking well, it causes cholera, and it's very contagious, very contagious. So in 1925, we've actually got several people in Randolph County dying of cholera. And not to mention the typical heart attacks and cancer and all that kind of stuff, you know. And the morticians all around are covered up. Covered up. They can't catch up. So you got 3 morticians. You got one in Winchester, one in Union City, and one down the road here at Lynn. And all 3 of them go together and they buy an embalming table. And they put it right here. No, that's not an embalming table. And yes, there's no drain underneath it, but this cement floor wasn't here either. It was a dirt floor at that time, okay? Now, the county commissioners actually signed a contract with the ambulance crew at that time. You ain't got no more room in the mortuaries. They're stacked up in the mortuaries. And so they told the ambulance crews they can actually bring the stiffs out here. Out here. And they stacked them right along that wall. Right there. One right after another and after another. And whenever these 3 guys that went together and bought the embalming table out here, whenever they had time, they would come out here and start working on these guys. Now, this is cholera. You want this in the ground yesterday. All right, you ain't got time for a funeral. All you're going to do is spread it. The more you expose people to it. But wait a minute, they're not all cholera. There's heart attack, there's cancer, there's natural death, there's everything right there. They ain't all about cholera. And these people's families want funeral. So what are you gonna do? I know what these morticians did. They went ahead and embalmed every stinking one of them. Every one that they could. Right here, and they wrapped them in paper and put them right in that cooler with pork chops.
Oh my God.
And they did actually really do that. Actually, if you think about it, that's good common sense. Not to mix it in there with the food, but to keep it cold. And
Preserve.
contain it, you know? And they probably thought, well, the food's all wrapped up, it can't get in there. Well, yeah, it could, okay? And next thing you know, there's 3 old ladies in here that passed away with cholera. The whole county is screaming food poisoning. Food poisoning, you damn idiots. You put dead bodies in with their meat. You're sitting there embalming somebody while somebody's sitting over here chopping up a cow. Come on, you know, use your head. And so that was the end of doing the makeshift morgue out here. That was the end of it, okay? But it wasn't food poisoning. It couldn't have been. Because if it had been food poisoning, there would have been 30 people dead, not just 3. But that doesn't mean that Mrs. Johnson, Mrs. Jones, and Mrs. Smith didn't carry their dirty laundry right by you to go down to the laundry and be exposed to the cholera sitting along that wall. So that was the end of everything. That makeshift morgue lasted just right at a year. And then they had to take everything back out of there. And I told you this cement floor wasn't here, and it wasn't. Look how low that door is behind you.
It's very low.
Them people were not that short. There's a foot of cement right here on this floor. It was a dirt floor. And I brought my son and my 3 granddaughters out here, and we spent about an hour and a half in this room. Yeah, I had my SP7 right there. I'm sitting in there. We've all got tape recorders. My son's sitting right over there. He thought it was cool except the dead people. So he's sitting over there. I got my 3 granddaughters, and they're all teenagers, okay? From between 15 and 18. They're sitting right here. And they're all leaning against these boards, okay? And after about an hour and a half, I'm tired of it. We ain't got anything. Let's move on, you know. And so I turned my light over. I said, Steve, you ready? Yeah. I shined it on my granddaughters, and all 3 of them sitting there with tears running down their faces. I said, what is wrong with you? I said, Pat, somebody's pulling our hair. We can feel it. I said, really? They all have this long, pretty hair, you know. Really? I said, were you leaning against that board? Yes. He says,